Call to order the February 2026 Siemens School Board meeting. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. And Braden, will you start us off?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Braden. Public comments?
Nobody planned?
None? All right. I need an adoption of the agenda, please.
I move that we adopt the agenda as presented.
Second. Been moved in second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, raise your hand and say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Learning without limits. Mr. Marty, is Brad Jones tonight?
I am.
All right.
Nearly as good looking. I'm not the supermodel he is, but I'll give it a try.
But he is less sick than Mr. Jones.
That is
Okay.
correct. I am much healthier than he is. Mr. Goebel, if you'll come on up here, I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about this young man. Stephen High School science teacher and robotics coach, Chris Goebel, has been selected as the Kansas Society of Professional Engineers Outstanding Teacher Award recipient at the high school level for the 25-26 school year. This is a prestigious honor, and it recognizes educators who demonstrate excellence in math, science, or technical education, employ imaginative instructional practices, and build strong positive relationships with students. Mr. Goebel was nominated for the award based upon his exceptional impact on the students both in and beyond the classroom. He teaches honors chemistry at Seaman High School, which you have never seen me taking, by the way, and serves as the robotics coach and advisor, where his leadership has helped students connect rigorous academic content to real-world engineering applications. Under Mr. Goebel's guidance, Seaman High School's robotics program achieved national recognition by qualifying for and competing in the VEX Robotics World Championship. His work emphasizes hands-on learning, problem solving, and teamwork, skills essential for students pursuing STEM-related careers. In addition to his classroom and coaching roles, Mr. Goebel leads the school's engineering career and tech ed CTE advisory committee, a collaborative partnership of industry professionals, educators, and community members. Mr. Goebel's influence has had a lasting effect on students' achievement and academic and career pathways. Former students credit his mentorship and instruction with inspiring their interest in engineering and other STEM fields. The KSBE Outstanding Teacher Award will be presented during Engineers Week at the awards luncheon on Friday, February 27th at 11:30 to 1 at the Sunflower Nonprofit Center in Topeka. Congratulations to Mr. Goebel on his well-deserved honor, and thanks for your continued dedication to inspiring students, strengthening STEM education, and preparing learners for future success. I'm going to give him an opportunity to talk to you.
Thank you. I don't have a lot of words. I want to thank the board and the high school administration for their continuing support. They were all super helpful when I took over the VEX robotics coaching position several years ago, and I don't know where I would be without the administration, the parental involvement in the program itself. I like to thank the students. They helped push me to push them to be a better coach, and I'm continuing to work with the students who are attending college in engineering fields and things like that. I look forward to continuing to promoting the engineering program at Seaman High School and pushing the next generations of engineer into college and eventually in the workforce. So once again, I thank you guys for your time. So
Thank you. We have something for you.
Good job, Mr. Goble.
I'm up one more time.
Okay, we'll take you.
Mr. Stauffer, if you'll come on up. Please join us in congratulating Michael Stauffer on being named the Kansas Thespians Region 3 Teacher of the Year. This prestigious honor recognizes outstanding theater educators across Kansas who demonstrate exceptional dedication to their students and programs. Mr. Stauffer's commitment to inspiring young artists and cultivating a vibrant theater program at Topeka Seaman High School Thespian Troupe, which is really hard to say. I practiced that this afternoon. And I still messed it up, has had a profound and lasting impact on countless students. This award, which he received on January 10th at the Kansas Thespian Festival, is especially meaningful as recipients are nominated, selected by their fellow Kansas theater educators within each region. Mr. Stauffer, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much. Is big surprise. My goal in my career in here is how can I better put out my theater department and my students out to the state of Kansas and nationally, because they definitely need to be recognized for all the hard work they put through. So if I need to post out social media, go change lights, build stuff, paint stuff, I'll do what I need to do to make sure my kids have opportunity to shine. And right now we're doing rehearsal and I changed out 10 lights today and I'm pretty exhausted and we're still building set and we're painting and they're working on makeup right now. And so I'm pretty excited because our show, our musical, The Addams Family, is next weekend, next Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we'll have a Sunday matinee. I'm pretty excited about that next weekend. So our musical encompasses not only our theater department, but our choir, our orchestra, and our band as well. So I say our fine arts departments present. So I'm pretty excited for this. So you all are more than welcome to come and anybody to come see our show.
Tough score, the Addams Family.
Yes, it is. Yeah, they're doing a really good job with it. So thank you very much for the board for your support. Thank you for our administration and anything I could do and administration do to promote these kids and all their talent. I'll do it. So thank you.
Thank you. We have something for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate all your work.
Thank you. Sir.
You're awesome.
Thank you.
Get you some help changing those lights.
It was pretty fun today, but it's all good. But thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Stauffer. Fantastic. I remember his first year. My daughter was one of his kids, so he is a fantastic teacher. All right, superintendent remarks, Mr. Wilson.
Thank you. Legislature is in session, if you hadn't noticed, and dozens, technically closer to a dozen bills that impact schools have been introduced and are being discussed right now. Everything from tax-funded scholarship programs for private schools to recess time to technology in schools, capers, mental health, bathroom usage. The legislature is very engaged right now in administration of schools. So currently I'm tracking 143 bills in the House and Senate that directly impact education. I try to contact our legislators. We start with Kyle almost always on bills of particular importance to Seaman School District. But I don't really even have the capacity to really even read every single bill that has been created, much less testify on them. What is difficult for your legislators is that they often don't get time to read everything that they have come across their table and have to vote on. So leadership helps guide them in those areas. Please be engaged in the process of the development of statutes which impact our community's children, the children we serve, education, and let your voice be heard. I just want to make sure our community and staff understand what is coming out of this session so that they can speak out on issues that are important to them. I really don't want to even guide them on what to testify on, just be aware and know what's out there. KSDE has a bill tracker with a summary and link to each education bill being considered. You can imagine if there's 143 education bills, how many other bills in other areas are out there and that the legislators have to attend to. They're doing actually a heck of a lot of incredible work trying to keep up. I sometimes hope they would focus their energy onto a few good things, but they are working. You can't determine how many bills come out, but they're working their tails off for the interest of Kansas and Kansans and the needs of the state, and really helping us out there. So, thank you.
You. President remarks is next, and I'll open it to the board. I honestly don't have any president remarks. I'm just happy to be here because I feel like I haven't seen you all since December, really. So does the board have anything that they would like to make a comment on? Okay. Well, we'll just move forward then. Disposition of business by consent, need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, raise your hand, say aye. Aye, opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Right. Miss Megan, curriculum and instruction report.
Yes, good evening. A couple items within this month's report. We're going to start at the beginning, and it's Parent Teacher Conference Month, the month of February. It's also CTE month, which is February as well. And so kind of what I want to speak on those ties together, because our February Parent Teacher Conference Month, as a reminder, is our individual plans of study opportunities at the secondary buildings, and many of our elementary buildings, teachers offer what are called student-led conferences, where students have an opportunity to meet with teachers and parents and discuss goals and progress and where it is that they want to move forward as they look to the rest of this year and into next year. So those opportunities are all listed in the report, and you can see what's coming up. The couple of things that weren't listed in the report that I want to highlight that I heard last week from our middle school and high school are some additional things they're doing to engage parents and families. So the middle school, on the Monday and Wednesday of their parent-teacher conferences, they are offering an opportunity for parents to hear a brief presentation about enrollment and enrollment opportunities, and make the counseling staff available in order to just ask the counselors specific questions. So giving parents that additional opportunity to learn about middle school enrollment. And then as a benefit for parents at the high school, on the Wednesday of parent-teacher conferences from 5 to 7:30, they're offering a parent engagement night. And this is going to be a unique opportunity not offered before, being facilitated by our CTE coordinator, Tatiana Dowling. And this opportunity will give parents an opportunity to sign up for their students' electives of interest. So for example, and I don't have the official list yet, so go with my example. Let's say you have a student in ceramics, and the ceramics teacher is going to offer some sessions. You can sign up to go in and do a ceramics session to get a feel for what your student is participating in, and that will be led by student volunteers that evening. So something new on the radar that we're really excited about, and we're hoping parents take advantage of that opportunity. So the high school will be pushing out more information on that in the next few weeks. I did want to highlight under the CTE information on page 2 that you can see our CTE specific stats and data from the past couple of years, and really wanted to highlight that bottom row of our internship enrollments. If you take a look, you can see how our internship numbers have really jumped this year. And a lot of that is due to the hard work that Tatiana is putting into the program and getting even more students involved in those college and career internships. The final thing that I want to highlight is the last item, and that is the MTSS literacy training that is happening this Thursday. This is related to the partnership that we implemented this year with the KSDE's TASN MTSS team. And so this will be the first day that teachers are coming in, selected teacher teams along with their building administrators, to really dive into the work focused on literacy have literacy-based conversations specific to their data and setting action plans and next steps in order to improve literacy and really improve core instruction overall. So kind of as a reminder, up until this point, we've had leadership days where it's just been building leaders, working with the MTSS team, and now teachers are coming in. So really excited for Thursday and to see how that goes. So any questions for me from the report?
It looked like it. Thanks, Megan. Deidre, Special Services.
Good evening. I would like to pull out a couple things from my report. The first one is foster care. Things that are happening timely right now is, first of all, I updated the foster care numbers. Scroll down a little bit, within from this school year. It's similar to last school year. There's a different criteria for our foster care students right now is we've always had a best interest determination hearing when we receive a foster care student or a foster care student somewhere else. It's called a bid meeting. We often do not have bids because they're often moving within Shawnee County. And if they're within Shawnee County, then the foster care law provides them the services to stay in their home school. So we disrupt them the least. So they typically stay where they are if they move within Shawnee County. We have quite a bit of movement within the state of Kansas right now. Either way, they require a bid now within 3 days of the foster care placement, which has been a lot for us right now within my department because we often don't find out they're either going or coming till a couple days after they have a new placement. That means we have 1 day to gather all the people and have a meeting. And so we've had a lot of quick turnaround bids. The principals at the secondary level especially, and the counselors are helping me with that because they know the students better than I do because they're with the students every day. So they've been really helpful with that. And I appreciate that because it's something new that's just happened recently. And we have a lot of turnaround for some reason right now. Then I would like to talk about educational relevance. So if you scroll down in regards to educational relevance, if you remember back in October that we had day 1 for this training through Greenbush, that training was part of the knowledge. What do we need to know in regards to educational relevance with our related service providers? If you remember, related service providers are all of our our medical people that work for school related services, social workers, OTs, PTs, that sort of thing. So they had the knowledge, they went back and our groups just took off with it. I have to say our SLPs and our social workers, they met with our OTs and PTs. What does this look like for our students? Basically, what it looks like for our students is IDEA provides the law that provides us to provide services for students in the general education classroom in their least restrictive environment. So this notion of educational relevance falls with that law in regards to you can't really learn how to swim unless you get in the pool. And so once you're in the pool is general education setting. How do we do that? Oftentimes our related service providers all over Kansas provide services just because that's the way it's been done, 20 minutes twice a week, something like that in regards to pulling them out into their therapy session in school. But really, honestly, the evidence says that they need to have that service in the general education classroom. So what does that look like and how do we do it? So it's kind of blew all of our minds in how does that service look if you're working with the adults as well as the students. So that means our social workers would go to the general ed classroom, work with the adults in responding and providing plans for students, as well as our OTs and PTs. And so anyway, lots of questions. This session in day 2 was more along the lines of, what are the barriers? How do we solve them? How do I write that in an IEP? We're now going to be training the adults that are with the students all day long, which makes sense. And what does that look like? And how do we train everybody? And so we sat and problem solved a lot of those things last Friday, I believe, and came up with some really good solutions. I was in an IEP meeting this morning and the SLP. took that notion and presented it, said, I'd like to work with a student, pull that student out with me to work on skills. Then I'd like to work with the teachers that work with that student all day long and teach them how to help that student as well. So we get more bang for a buck. That student gets more services, honestly, from the other people that gain that knowledge from that related service provider. So it's kind of a unique thing, which is kind of new to them. So anyway, we learned how to write it in the IEP, learned how to talk about it and present it with to staff and to parents. And make sure that it's transparent with our parents as well. I think that's it for what I would like to present tonight. Do you have any questions about any of that? Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Deidre. Lance, facility and grounds. Hello.
So last month I brought you the beginning of the platform up on the high school stage. This is the finished product. We got lights, we got chain link. You can actually see underneath of it, on top of it. State Fire Marshal comes in this Wednesday. We'll see if we have to have sprinklers for underneath of it. Hopefully we don't, but it's all there ready to roll if we do. So if I remember right, I think Stopper's got it full already. So I was like, it's quite moving in quite fast. Next one is Seaman Middle School. The bottom of the parking lot, right where the black SUV and the blue usually is a skating rink during the winter months. So grounds crew went, dug all that out. We put the rock in there to drain all of it out. So we have no more water standing at the bottom. That was pretty much January, except for snow removal. So pretty slow month. So any questions?
Looks like none.
Thank you.
Thank you. Program evaluation for technology, Mr. Jeff.
Your technology fails while you're doing your presentation.
Okay. Program description, we're here to support the district's mission focus area of high quality operations by planning, implementing, supporting technology infrastructure, hardware, software, and policies utilized district wide. Cliff notes, we kind of do a little bit of everything for everybody. Our fingers are in pretty much everybody's business all day long, like it or not. Stakeholder groups, it's pretty much everybody, staff, parents, guardians, students. We work with everybody to try to put out the best product we can. Goals were tough. This is kind of a 30,000 foot view because there's so much, but I think this encompasses us pretty well. So goal number one is to provide relevant, up-to-date technology to staff, students, support and enhance learning in the classroom. Obviously, our students are our number one priority, so that's our number one goal. Number two is to maintain a safe, secure, reliable network connectivity in all instructional facilities. And number three, of maintain a robust cybersecurity posture to minimize external threats. That one's starting to be a big one. It could probably fight with number one, goal wise. For measurables, these are our survey data from the last year's staff and parent surveys. There's still some room for improvement. I think we're doing okay.
So Jeff, I was gonna interrupt here anyway, but there's very little in room for improvement. That is our survey that we do. There's also an external survey that we give all of our teachers, and we get about 100% of them take it. And technology is so far off the charts. It's not even, we have comparison districts in that other survey. It's not even close to what the other districts are. So I think most of our staff would be just pleased if we can maintain, even though we usually are pushing pretty hard for improvement.
We can move a little bit to the right.
Okay.
We got a pretty good crew. I'm proud of our guys. They work really hard.
No, that really is like remarkable.
Yes.
Having worked in a couple districts that border us, like, yeah.
We'll keep pushing. I'd like to see even higher. So action steps for our goals. Refresh cycles. We want to implement, maintain equipment refresh cycles to keep new relevant hardware in the hands of staff and students. Essentially, everything electronic in this district has a lifespan. Some of it's a little longer than others, some of it's pretty short, and we need to stay on top of all that and make sure that we're not getting ourselves into a position where I come crawling to Lisa saying, we got stuff that's broken and we need to fix it now. So to keep those life cycles up to date and make sure that we're not getting too far behind where we put ourselves in bad situations. Now we're in continuing implementation on that. We have most of our end user devices on successful cycles. We're on our third refresh cycle now of breaking up staff, students, elementary students, and then secondary students. And that's been working real well with Apple. We're doing that with all the network equipment on 5-year cycles. We still got to work on things like security cameras. We've come to find out that those are the next thing that doesn't live as long as we hoped it would. And there's tons of stuff that we're gonna have to stay on top of. So we're getting there, but we still got some more to go. Right. Network management, work with third-party managed service providers and the federal E-rate program to ensure high-performing internal network internet access at competitive prices. But that for continuing, we've got a really good relationship with a MSP here, managed service provider here, that we've worked with for a couple of decades now. We'll continue to work with them and put everything out to bid every E-rate cycle. We're coming up on the next round of Category 2 funding for E-rate for a 5-year period for internal building network stuff that will be up in 2 years per bid. So that stuff will be coming out for too terribly long. Security, we want to align with NIST security standards, and I tried to keep the acronyms to a bare minimum. Guys, I couldn't get away with that one. We want to align with that where we can. Those standards are based on for-profit businesses that make money that it would be impossible for us to align 100% with those. So we do it where we can. And then we're wanting to implement an in-house email training and phishing campaign system for our staff members. We've had this in the works for a couple of years now, and we've tried and started a couple of systems that just didn't work out, and we weren't ready to deploy it to staff. So we've started over twice now. We're almost ready now. I think we're about ready to launch this. Hopefully within the next few months, we'll be ready to go. The reason we're doing this is when we get hit, because it's not a if, it's when. It's going to be something internal. Somebody's going to click on something. It's going to be something that they gave away without knowing they gave it away, and the dominoes start to fall from there. So our best resource, put our best resources towards training our staff, keeping them aware of all the risks and everything out there.
Are you gonna send the fake emails out and trick them?
And try to trick them.
I absolutely hate those.
I know.
Make them take another training. I didn't, but now I send everything and click the fish alert on most emails, and then I.
Believe it or not, we're close to the dollar endowment rate where property casualty liability insurance is going to start forcing. So districts, I think 60 million is the cutoff part of that. I remember that better. So we're just underneath what the requirement is to do that to your staff to get your insurance. So I'm assuming at some point we'll fall into that, or we'll have to do it. So that's coming eventually. So I put that for beginning implementation, but we're not at the very beginning.
Can we go ahead and pre-flag a number?
I have a list. I have a list already. Right.
Are you sitting over there?
Any questions? That was a lot. Fast.
No, it's great. That's good numbers. Thanks, Jeff. Hey, instructional collaboration mornings proposal. Megan, are we starting with
You
you?
are starting with me, but in fact, I would like to invite Mr. Wells and Mr. Johnson to join me. I'm going to be setting the stage for the instructional collaboration mornings proposal, and then handing it off to them for a couple different pieces. So go ahead and jumping on in. We'll start with the origin of the proposal. And really the proposal for these instructional collaboration mornings began in the fall. Or really, you could even think back to last May with the building needs assessment processes, which, if you can recall, really emphasized opportunities for professional development was a need within our buildings, as well as instructional needs that are an ongoing focus of the district. And just really that need for consistent collaboration time that we can plan on and make sure that we have opportunities with staff in order to have those conversations that can drive us forward. So the official proposal development really kicked off after this came up in the fall. And then in December, buildings had the opportunity to really gather feedback from their building site councils, their building leadership teams and staff members, as well as just receiving some guidance of non-negotiables as they were considering what the proposal could look like that came from the superintendent and directors. So really, just to define what we mean by instructional collaboration as we go into the next slide. What this is a structured time in the morning where teachers come together without students in the building in order to have those collaborative conversations. It is a structured time with a set agenda, tasks that need to be accomplished, goals set, and outcomes that are coming from this time that teachers are gathering together. It needs to be consistent and predictable for our students and families so that they can plan and adjust around this time that is built into the schedule so that we have that for our teachers and they know to plan on it for their students. So that in a nutshell is our definition of what that instructional collaboration time is. So if we go on to the next slide, this is where we're getting into some of the logistics of the proposal. And this is
Question,
where,
Megan, sorry,
yes.
Bobby. So the, on the first slide where we talk about how the proposal was developed,
Yes.
feedback from parents, those are just the parents that are on the site council? Or you have more parents involved in that?
I include my site council, my PTO board,
PTO board? Okay,
say probably had about 16. Like every one of them, I offered a feedback on, took advantage of it.
okay. Thank you.
That's my building.
Yeah,
Similar pros.
similar. I assume in the rest of the other
I
buildings.
think most of what's said.
Okay, thank you.
So before I have the guys explain a little bit more about what the proposal is going to look like at both secondary and elementary, the way that this particular proposal came together is that the building principals were provided multiple options and timeframes to consider. And really the principal team came together to discuss the pros and cons of the different options that they could go for. And this is the recommendation that came out from that collaborative work with the building principal teams. So that's what we're here to hear from them on their suggested instructional collaborative proposal. So without further ado, do you guys want to talk a little bit?
Yep.
Good evening. Thank you for this time just to explain a little bit more about what we've proposed with these instructional collaboration mornings. For secondary, you can see at the start, what we're proposing is before the start of the school day. So if you look at the high school time, they're going to start from 7:35 and have an hour of collaboration time. And then a window before their students arrive. So from 7:35 that's when the teachers are going to start. But for when students arrive, they're going to then start an hour later than they usually would. So our high school schedule next year, most days they'll start at 7:50. They're adding 5 minutes to the start of their day, like we are at the middle school. And so on these morning collaborations, they'll start at 8:50 instead. Their student end time is going to stay the same at 3:05. That's what they currently have and will continue to have next year. For us at the middle school, we start 5 minutes before the high school does. So our collaboration time will start at 7:30 and go to 8:30. We'll have our middle school students start then at 8:45 on those mornings. Next year, our normal start time will be at 7:45, and we'll have middle school students end their day at 3 o'clock still. Questions for me on the secondary schedules? Thank you.
Yeah, Kyle summed it up pretty well. A lot of similarities to the elementary level, just back and back an hour, more or less. You can see on there, teachers on duty at 8:25, collaboration 8:30 to 9:30. We probably collaborate now right up until 9:30 because that's when doors would open, students would come in, and we ready to welcome then. But kind of what we have in place right now, the exception of things pushing back an hour.
What time does elementary end?
In now 4 o'clock.
So wouldn't change your,
Beginning time starts 5 minutes earlier for all three of them. Than what they do this year, and that's to capture some of that time back that they lose. Student contact time.
Each of the 5 buildings, so at 8:30 right now, it's a little bit different. Elmont does a morning assembly. I know not every building does a morning assembly every day. So some students go straight to classrooms, some serve more breakfast. So it's a little different in every building, but
so now you start at 9:50.
I would say instruction time starts at 9:50. No,
Okay,
8:50. 8:50, not 9:50.
8:50.
Yeah.
oh,
I know at Elmont from 8:30 to 8:50, students arrive, we have assembly, assembly's dismissed and they're in their
and
classrooms.
you're saying we would start 5 minutes earlier.
8:45.
every day.
Right, as you process that logistical information for us, we'll go ahead and show you the next slide, which shows that we are not unique in trying to identify this instructional collaborative time within our district. In fact, the other Topeka area schools already have some sort of established collaborative time already into their schedules. So that's just what you see here in this chart. So you can see by district whether they already have a late start or an early release, in which buildings that is happening, or whether it's across to all buildings, the day of the week that has been selected for that instructional collaboration, and how long it is. So you can see this can look different and it varies, but it has already been established, like I said, with our neighboring districts because there truly is that value in that time, that dedicated time to provide to teachers and ongoing professional learning. Okay. So as we keep moving forward, we're going to shift back and hear about how the instructional collaborations can benefit our students at the different levels.
Yeah, so you have your bullets there of ways that we've identified, ideally when collaboration is at its best, all the things that it serves and how it benefits students. I would encourage you to go to that second to last bullet there, the solve instructional challenges together. Right now we have collaborations, but that word together, it is incredibly difficult to get all the folks that are involved with the student success in the same room together within the structure of a school day with students. Right now, grade level teams, myself, my instructional coach, it's a lot even just those individuals being in a class or in a conference room or collaborative setting together. With that, we're lacking a lot of times counselor, PE teacher, music teacher, other support staff, paraprofessionals, our special education staff. Coverage demands prevent that from happening, and things just happen throughout the course of a school day. Throughout we might have an incident, we might have a student get sick, people get pulled for a variety of reasons. We feel having this opportunity in place in the morning before students arrive would really help that word together there. So that part stands out to me probably more than any of the other ones too.
Yeah, and just I guess to piggyback a little bit off of that, I came from site council this evening and had a paraprofessional say that exact thing. They were excited about this proposal because they might get a chance to be a part of that conversation. So I definitely think that is going to be a real benefit. One of the ones that stood out to me was this time to align curriculum and assessment across grade levels. As our teachers gave us feedback for these mornings. One of the things that they got really excited about, for example, on my BLT, you have an art teacher. What this will allow for, since it's outside of the school day, is for her to get a chance to collaborate both with our other art teacher, but then also with our high school art teachers. We'll have a chance for that vertical alignment to exist. And I think having this time outside of the school day really allows for that when we collaborate within the school day. It's really hard to make that work, especially as we talk about between middle school and high school. And for us right in the middle, we also collaborate with our elementary teachers as well. So that was a real highlight for our staff.
Maybe cross-building collaboration, our sixth grade staff, an opportunity to meet and collaborate, seventh grade staff, I would assume, eighth grade, ninth grade, similar would be possible at this.
How do you guys see it happening? Like all the first grade teachers here, all the third grade here, at the middle school. I mean, how do you see the collaboration coming?
Yeah, I see it as there's going to be days where we are just within our building. I know for us at the middle school, time with our content teachers at a grade level is important, time with our academic teams important. But I think we'll also probably identify times for those vertical collaborations with other buildings.
So like team meetings in the morning?
Potentially, yes. Yeah.
And how is that? I'm thinking of, my data brain is how is that measurable? Like, are you
Yeah.
going to have an agenda for each collaboration team? Like making sure that it's worthwhile, that if we're making this huge change across the district, like how are we going to know that this collaboration time is beneficial and it's just not being wasted? I don't want to think that, but I'm just.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we did get searches. Nice. We have very detailed agendas with our collaborations that are, the same. Not a lot of surprises in there. So I think with this model, it would change, but yeah, planned out, be organized. Those agendas, predictability for staff, really important as well. Yeah, without that, it would be effective.
Right.
A lot of the structures are already well in place with our collaborative setting now.
So Joel, one of the things we heard when all the principals came and talked at the needs assessment, where we were focused on improving student learning and measures of student learning. And you see those obviously in the strategic plan, was principals saying to the board at that time that we need to make sure that we have plenty of professional learning and time to collaborate in order to make a positive effect. So will this time improve student learning across our district?
I have to that.
I would challenge that to say professional learning is professional development. This is collaboration. This is not professional development. This is collaboration.
My
This is
concern,
bouncing ideas off of each other.
my
That next slide too, get some of the staff benefits.
is what Christy has already mentioned. That the time will not be used
Well,
for what it is meant to be used for. And how do we ensure that that is happening?
Yes, accountability basically to parents, first and foremost.
So on the previous slide, back to your point about bullet point number 2, align curriculum, informative assessment across grade levels and courses. This hour a day is going to improve that? No. Why?
How are we?
Sure.
I want to speak a little bit to that particular question on the aligned curriculum informative assessment. So this particular task is directly tied to the work that we are currently doing with our standards alignment goal for our KISA, which is our school improvement process, which is focused on both horizontal alignment of standards, which means like all third grade teachers are teaching the same standards over the course of the year, as well as vertical alignment, meaning that the standards that we are hitting and covering in third grade are preparing us for fourth grade. All of that is part of what's called, a collaborative process is what we're calling it, but it's really a professional learning community, where by first aligning standards and knowing the standards that we are teaching over the course of the year, you can then come together with your collaborative team to have conversations about the standards. around a few simple questions. So what do we want students to learn? Those are the standards. How are we going to know that they have learned it? And that's through the development of common assessments, which is the year 2 phase of our standards alignment process, which is next year. So right now we're in year 1. So next year, and really by the end of this year, all of our teams are going to be developing common assessments. So second grade, for example, will be giving the same common assessments for the standards that they've selected. I know this is a long-winded answer to that question, but it proves that with the common assessments coming, you then gather the data from that and you come together as a team to look at your data and say, what is the data telling us? Did they learn the standard? If not, what are we going to do about it? How can we improve and adjust our learning together? What is it that you're doing in your classroom that really, made your scores so great? What can I learn and take from you? So it's really the robustness of the collaboration where the learning occurs, because they're getting the opportunities to learn and engage through that conversation with each other, which does require agendas, which does require accountability from our administrative team in order to make sure that all these conversations are happening. And it does require training and practice in the staff in order to prepare them to have those conversations. But it's in the works, so it's really supporting the direction that we're going with that work. So
Keith, my analogy on that would be, we can sit somebody learning to do electrical work in a classroom and learn some of the foundations of how to wire and that type of thing. But the best professional learning is job embedded. It is taking that individual, that new learner that's trying to learn how to wire a house or whatever, putting them with a more experienced, working together, say, this is how we do it, and actually looking at the results. And that's what they'll be doing with this time. Much different than sitting with another electrician and bouncing ideas off a wall, really targeted on the instructional practices of, here's how I got these results. Here are the results. And here's how we got those results for our students. Little different, I would say, than just getting together and talking, but really it's what we would think of as a mentorship or an apprenticeship almost. But this one being that both can be the learners at the same time. It's so complex.
I appreciate the answer. I appreciate the transparency.
Yeah.
These are just things that are popping in my
I
head.
appreciate that.
As I'm reading aligned curriculum, I'm like, we have a curriculum.
Yeah.
So that was my question.
Okay, so.
Okay, but here's what we don't always do. So when you, definition of curriculum, we have a resource that the board approves. So CKLA is our reading resource. That, when we talk about aligning it, we're talking about taking state standards, which is what we're assessed over, aligning it to that resource and making sure that we have that consistent across all areas. It's not just, and in a secondary level, they don't ever do this, but it's not just going into the book and going, I'm going to read the next page. It's really learning, how do I use this resource, which has resources and activities in it, to best make sure that I'm addressing this specific standard that we have to have kids to the rigor necessary that they're going to be mastering it to the level they can do well on the test. So
Thank you.
there is a little more than the resource, which you're right, we do give them great resources, but we have to do more work with it afterwards.
Perfect. Thank you. Sorry. Moving on.
Perfect. Yep.
So, I'm just thinking out loud. So a parent would say, so aren't you doing that already? Because don't your teachers meet already? One of the things that I heard you say earlier was this is an opportunity to have plan time without distractions. And by distractions, I mean like a student gets sick or a teacher gets called to this meeting over here during their plan time, not meaning students are distractions. You understand what I'm saying? But so there's not students in the building for teachers to be accountable to. It's teachers and staff. So are you doing this already? What, I don't know if I'm phrasing it very well. What changes?
So our schedule next year, our teachers, like for us at the middle school, we have a dedicated team time during the day. Our teachers are teaching 6 out of 7 hours next year, so that goes away. We also use that time for our content area collaboration. And so with that hour going away, we won't have that during the day next year. So really, for us, we felt it was a necessity to still get some collaboration time.
So it'll be collaboration at grade levels, seventh grade teachers, seventh grade math teachers, seventh grade language arts, or all seventh grade teachers based on whatever the agenda is for that week.
Yep.
Same with high school, probably. I'm
Yes.
guessing.
Yeah, I think it'll be more, especially in the content area.
So part of what has caused this proposal to come from the principals is taking away that second opportunity for teachers to get together. They have a plan time, but they will not have a second period to be able to collaborate like they do now. And that is a huge money saving. It's about you have a difference in staff of about 13%, I think, that you can do with that, but you also then lose that collaboration time. So it's a way for them to get that essential time back
Okay.
and still save money.
So you said at the secondary level, Kyle, that the subject area plan times next year, like going forward, losing the team time will be aligned. Like you're a bit smaller than high school, but still your social studies, your math will all be like aligned. So like your math people will have the same plan period.
We have that set up in our schedule right now and we'll continue to. It's, since it is their plan time, we can't tell them they need to meet, but they're still able to do that if they want to during that time. This would be the more structured version during these mornings when we have agendas and are working towards those things that Mrs. Newsbaum talked about.
Well, and Joel, that doesn't happen at the grade school level, where your plan times are just like thrown across the day. That they're not, like, you don't guarantee your third grade teachers are both have the same plan periods or.
They do. So we utilize Project Lead the Way at Library to make our collaboration happen. So when I say that, your collab might be during your paint music time, but they're already given the duty-free prep time. But I align it on a day where teachers have library project.
Is that
also eliminates those two teachers being able to participate in these collabs as well.
Is that in all of the elementary school buildings? Or, yeah.
Speak.
Not at the same level.
Okay, yeah, sorry, feel free, Jen and Sunny to come up, yeah, okay.
Our schedules are all finished.
Okay.
The 2-track versus 3-track.
Yeah.
Change a little different.
Changes here or there, but it's
All 4 of you can just line up to the firing squad, it's fine.
How are we going to ensure this is being done? How do we measure? How do we oversee?
So what is the question? What do you mean by it? How do we know that they're doing the things we're asking them to do?
Because I could see all of them coming in for that hour, no students. How was your night?
Oh, well, I think these guys can answer that. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. How do we ensure?
I think they can answer.
I might go back to the finance staff, and we did just push a survey out. We all introduced this in collaborative settings and made it very clear that if we were to do this, these are the things that we're figuring out how it would look. So I already started front loading that, and then it would that'd be an administrative task to ensure that so we have those consistent agendas, expectations.
So administrators will be there.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we did already brought them back with them all.
Okay.
Very clear that the agenda is not, and we haven't worked out all of the
Works.
quirks of it yet. I don't envision it as third grade you're in the classroom, first grade in here. I see us all together. It was really a lot of discussion so that.
Okay.
And we have to trust that our teachers are professionals. and
Well,
they
absolutely.
do what they do, like we're not doing nothing, so.
This is a popular idea. I mean, this
Yeah.
is now devil's details, but this was well received as we went through that input process.
How long have other districts been doing this as stated here earlier?
My previous district, we could do it for years, so.
Which district?
Lawrence.
So as far as like, what does the structure look like, there's a lot of non-negotiables. It's not plan time, it's not for staff meetings, it's not for committee meetings, it is collaboration with professional development embedded, and so someone who has several district programs, like I'm looking at, how our title students will benefit, we ever get to collaborate with our special education teachers, including our parents who work with some of the hardest students in our district, so they can be included in that. So the benefits outweigh, the negatives for me, but I was telling Jennifer, like, there's one of my grade levels I never get into their collaboration because I'm in the lecture at that time, and so just some of those things that even though it is embedded in our day, still doesn't always go as well as we want it to go. We're not always available student behavior or something, so.
And I taught
Detail
30 years ago, we were doing this already in the district I was in.
I would also just say that I previously worked with another district that did it. They did not have their elementary buildings participate, and I just want to say I'm extremely, I feel extremely proud to be a part of Siemens, to know that you on the elementary level just as much. We are the foundation, and I was told clear specifically that many doesn't shameful. So
I would think.
kudos to you.
And is one of those districts up there yours? Is that one of those districts that are up there?
Let's not.
I would think elementary would benefit from this more than the high school. Just because I've heard from a lot of teachers, we don't have time to collaborate. We don't have time. And so I think that's exciting.
Part of that is because the secondary has had this in the past.
Hmm.
And so they're losing that. And so this is maintaining for them, not adding something new.
Okay.
This is something the elementaries have not had in the past for this long.
We talked about, oh, sorry,
No, go ahead, Keith.
we talked about surveys. Are the results available of the surveys or that?
We did not. So I'm gonna maybe upset some people, but I don't, like, when we put out the calendar for the year, we don't survey our parents to ask what their vote is on what our calendar should be.
But to follow
We
that
put
up,
that
is
up.
the calendar for next year set to align with this, or is it?
We will
gonna be
have to
reworked?
add just the late arrival every Wednesday. It's all, nothing else will need to change, but yes, that would need to change. As far as, so we don't, the survey that we are going to put out that's addressed in this is a survey to every single family to say, what are you doing with your children? What we don't want to happen is next year comes along, if we decide to do this, and a parent doesn't have a plan for that time. So we'll get to it a little bit later, but the Boys and Girls Club at Topeka has just, they're knocking it out of the park for us and they're willing to help us.
I
Thanks,
think
Brad.
specifically, we were talking about staff surveys. That's
Okay,
kind of
so I said survey, it was an in-house deal,
Okay.
form for staff to, we had a discussion. I think
Okay.
that was being also
We've
my
talked about it.
understanding.
So, I completely appreciate all the information that all of you are giving us. You are kind of in the line of fire right now because you are the ones that have to present it as the administrators. So let's move it along and let's talk about the planning and how this is going to be communicated to the people that are going to care the most, which are the parents, because it's going to disrupt their lives. And while you may get some of the complaints, we get a lot of the complaints. So I would like to hear how this is going.
Complaints, but also,
I don't want to say, yeah, I don't want to say complaints, but we
Yeah.
we'll get questions and so I would like to know how this is going to be communicated to the community.
Let's say something.
Sure, Candace.
And I was just going to say, within the board documents,
Yeah.
there was the communication plan. So I think,
Yeah, there is a communication plan that's that's added there for you guys to see, and as you can see, we've already started that work. Last Friday, a note went out to all the parents kind of telling them this was gonna happen tonight, just so that They can be a part of the process and kind of follow it along to
They're
know.
probably watching online.
And this
Saying.
gives them opportunity to ask questions too.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's like all of the decisions that you guys make, you hear it this month, and that gives you a month to kind of gather more information to make the decision the next month, fill in the gaps and everything, so.
So I have a question about that. We have a month, right, between board meetings to gather as much information. I'm sure we're probably going to receive some correspondence from our constituents. How would you feel if the board came back with a different proposal? I mean, is that on the table if we decide, well, we think this is a great idea, but let's pilot it first in the high school or whatever, pilot in the elementary first, or.
We came together, came together as the head principals to talk about several different options for this. I don't know this is the option we felt
You chose.
was the best.
Okay.
But I feel like we considered and would have been okay with other options as well. So I
Okay.
think we're definitely open.
There's a lot of cooperation with the schools too.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
So, okay.
How does milk fall into the schedule? Is that under the elementary or?
No,
I don't
That's
believe
separate.
they're,
they're separate. Milk was at the principal one, but they've always had a totally separate schedule. Because they have morning kids and afternoon kids.
Exactly my question.
Yeah.
So.
Doesn't work for them. Yes.
Good.
For the fact that I was able to give my staff more community because of that a lot of time. That I know it's very hard in the elementary world, so we don't have that.
Right.
I just know that it says district wide, so you might want to clarify that.
So you've already introduced it to the teachers.
And the parents.
And the parents.
Parents has been
Well,
a smaller
the
sample.
community.
Yep.
Up here.
Parents is a smaller, you're talking introducing, yeah.
Communication.
Yes.
Out to staff.
Yes.
last
Yeah.
week.
Wednesday, I think.
The families, and have you guys heard anything back from family?
Incidentally, I site council last week, and since I offered this opportunity to fall to them, I said, hey, let's, as I understand this process is, it's supposed to be a 5-minute deal. We're gonna talk about it for about 5 minutes. A lot of questions, not complaints, but yeah, feedback, questions, childcare. I have a joke with
Yeah.
Mike, before I sent this out, I probably could have filled that part out for you. So for what it's worth, staff, that was kind of their number one question too, like. So
Okay.
some plans in place to help. These folks, so I have, but I don't.
I have it also, we had in our site council tonight and we spent a good bulk of the time talking about this plan again. By the time we were finished speaking about it again, there were a lot of questions, but everyone left the meeting saying, I hope it works really well for the district.
So if Boys and Girls Club is helping, will the buses run at normal schedule?
They run an hour late,
Yeah.
just like normal.
So
We
the
have some
parents.
information on that on our slides, back on the original slide deck.
Yeah.
It's keeping you on your toes over there.
For that,
Thanks, Jeff.
there we go, right?
Okay, so.
Family,
Yes, let's, if you guys want to talk a little bit about the family logistical operation.
Yeah, the principals have been speaking with Boys and Girls Club. I know Brad's been meeting with them. They assured him, please, I don't want to speak for you, Brad, but.
I'll be happy.
Say,
Don
they're very
McWilliams.
game and very excited.
Ecstatic. Don McWilliams met with her. I was wondering, maybe could we take the kids and extend the time and blah, blah, blah. They have to do applications for the number of students that they can serve in a building. They have a couple of our elementary buildings that they have up to 200, but the rest of them were down at 80. She said, this gives me enough time. I'll redo every application. We will up the amount of kids that we can take, and then we will be available for this time for your families. At every elementary school. Because I thought maybe we would do something, they do snow day stuff where they choose one location and some things like that, but they said, and if we had to, we could figure out some transportation for that. But she wants to do that at every single building, every single Wednesday.
So would that just be for the students whose parents work and need to have their child? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Oh,
They could bring their kid that hour early
Yes, okay.
and drop their kid off just like they do every single day. Or if they chose to, they could spend another hour with their child and take them an hour later if they wanted to.
okay.
I'm not sure our parents yet understand
Because
the,
I did.
yes, no, I
So,
don't think
because
our
I'm thinking
parents yet,
classes are running an hour later.
yes. I
Okay.
don't think our parents yet understand that it's available, because we have not put that out
Okay.
in a formal way yet.
Assume there'd be a fee associated with that. To the parent.
I have not talked to them about that for sure. I would think so, but I haven't talked to them about that.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
If there would be a fee.
Is there like,
Is there now?
yeah, I was gonna say, is there now?
Yes, yeah.
I mean, if there is, we just gotta make sure it's communicated clear and early, so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which I'm not saying we aren't, but yes, yeah. When this plan.
So,
No changes to breakfast service, as usual. Kay and Ronna said, yeah, we'll pull this off. That's not a thing that's that'll be a barrier to what we do.
Probably have more kids eating breakfast.
Potentially. Yeah. We have the capacity for a lot more eating breakfast now.
And it is a testament to how amazing Kay and Ronna are. That's, they're gonna make whatever it works, because they have kids in
Right.
mind and they're like, if this is what's best, we're gonna.
Right. I would love to see more breakfast eaters.
Yes.
Brad, if you could just touch a little more for my benefit. It's been a day or two since I've been here.
Mhm.
How much planning time do teachers have? I'll open this up to anybody.
So they,
You used to have 2 sessions a day.
yes, and now they have one.
Between.
And that is you basically get to work the same number of students, because every time they're off, they can't serve students.
Right.
So this allows you with fewer staff members to still serve as students, saving, actually allowing us to put more money towards salaries. which is
High
a
school, middle
goal.
school, elementary, I'll get 1 planning hour
Yes.
a day.
45 minutes, right?
And there are other duties that those teachers are doing besides their planning period, correct? So the benefit of this, or what the ask is to provide time separate from that work that's required for their job description or ask of their leader to complete this work unfettered, unbothered.
That's a great way to put it. I think you read on.
I'm still really nervous about bullet point 4 and how we communicate this to parents and that they know what's coming.
Yep.
Because if it's discussion this month, it's vote next month.
And vote next month, right?
And
That's not a lot.
everything in spring is not gonna allow us a lot of time to have feedback. So I don't know how we can get that message out there.
I bet we get.
And I agree with your, I
After.
agree with your point 100%. We were all elected to serve on this board to make decisions. I think we all hold that dear to our heart. Yep. But part of our decision-making process is also
Yes.
listening to constituents.
100% agree. What we don't want to do is we do not want to be a barrier to any parent's feedback.
What's that?
So we want as much feedback as possible, and I'm looking at Candace because she's the master of our communications and making sure we can get feedback. I just think we have to be careful not to make it look like we're doing a vote. And if we get 57% to say one thing and 43 to certain percent to say another, that we're doing. There are other considerations besides just the parent part of this, but certainly the parent part of this is there are customers, they're who we serve. Yep.
Yeah, so something we could do is, we told them in the Friday note that we would keep them updated with the process and everything, so we could easily pull a piece of a chunk of this meeting from I'm looking at Jeff, from the video, and so that they could watch this portion or whatever, and just make sure that they stay aware with the discussions and everything.
I would even say, could we put together, maybe with principals doing some of the heavy lifting on it, a video that's maybe more concise of, so it's not a 30-minute random discussion that sometimes is hard to hear, but we really dig down deep with a really targeted video for it. Because we know our parents will watch video before they'll read something.
I think a easy way to look at this for me as a teacher is every day, I'm just speaking as a teacher now, every day I have 45 minutes of plan. And during that plan, I take care of all the preps for my classes that I'm doing that day. As a general rule, I don't have time to meet with my cohort who teaches math in the other two classrooms. So this day, this Wednesday, gives me that opportunity to meet with those people. And my plan time during the day is for me prepping all the stuff I need for my kids so that I can teach effectively every day. I think that's what this is in a nutshell.
So will they still have a plan?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Well, okay.
Yes. And high school has 45 minutes a day. I mean, block schedule makes it different. And middle school has 45 minutes a day, and elementary comes out to about 45 minutes a day. And then they have their lunch. It's not plan time, it's lunchtime. So anyway, that's the best way that I can put that together. So somebody who doesn't spend their day in a classroom can understand why this is a big deal.
It's also a time to where teachers and staff can also meet with sped teachers,
Yes.
coaches, all of
Parents,
those.
social workers,
parents
school
that are
psychologists.
assigned to something else when they're doing their plan time, and they don't get to talk to that para any other time.
It's not that we don't
Right?
understand, we just have to ask a hard question.
Yeah.
Just, it's not that we're.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
That needs a collaboration is, that is something I wasn't. It wasn't exactly what you just said, Donna.
Yes, I just appreciate how much work you guys have done so far. And so, I know this is a big deal. I know it's a big deal to our constituents, but I just think that's an easy way for people to look at it logistically and think, what's the big deal here? Don't they have some time in the day? You know what I mean? I mean, I don't say that rudely or anything, but yes, they do. But that time is really to get everything ready, not to plan this way.
I think the challenge for a normal, for lack of a better term, job is not very many jobs have you tied down with 25 little kiddos or big kiddos at every moment of the day. And then when you get your time, is when you can do all the other stuff to do that. You can't schedule your time. You're not the master of it.
Maybe at a certain time, different times of the day, you have different paras coming into your classroom. And you don't necessarily have a chance to visit with them much outside when they're in your classroom.
Mhm.
So this affords that opportunity. So.
Yeah.
Does this make the school year longer by shortening an hour every week?
No, here's where it works out. Math isn't perfect, but it's pretty close. So when you add 5 minutes to every day, that's 25 minutes a week. And so we're taking an hour of student time once a week. So right now, it looks like you're down 35 minutes a week, right? However, the professional development time that is in that hour counts as 30 minutes of student contact time. Every professional development day does that. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense why they do it, but it does. So that counts as student contact time. So every week we are losing 5 minutes of student contact time for the state. And we have enough days built up in snow days to account for that. What could happen if we had another year like we had last year is like some school districts were making up days, especially in the Kansas City area at the end of the year. We might have to do that because we wouldn't have as many built up days as we do right now. We were not yet, partially because of our 2 hour late start, but we were not even close to making up days last year when some other school districts were 1 day away.
The security team, all those support team. Lance, it's only gonna snow on Tuesdays now, so you get an extra hour on Wednesdays.
Oh, love it.
I only have one ask and it has to do with Boys and Girls Club. And I just want to make sure that if we're going to have an influx of kids coming to Boys and Girls Club, that they are, like, I would like to make sure that we are fully staffed at that.
It's why we're doing the survey for parents,
Okay.
is so that they will not do enrollment in this time until July. She
Okay.
said, when we know how many kids, we will hire, and she's like, in fact, I said, we might be able to find some people to help you with. She said, nope, that's my responsibility. We will get this staffed appropriately for that time. Even if I have to beg, borrow from other places, but they need to know how many kids. And I think if I can get them that spring so that they have a rough estimate, we won't hold parents to what they say, but it'd be nice to know whether we're going to have over the district 100 extra kids in there or 500 extra kids in there. And
But to
that would be
point,
important.
It would be the parents' responsibility to get the kids to the school for that hour earlier.
Yes.
Yes.
Otherwise, the bus is gonna pick them up and at the hour later and get them there right before school.
And that bus stagger doesn't cause a problem with middle school, high school.
It's the exact same, just all shifted back in that way.
Just an hour,
Yep,
just an hour off different.
you're right. It's. We do have to, and Rana is amazing, but you might have a bus driver or two that has a second job sometimes that has something after that. That could mess with them on those days, and I know Rana, that's why she keeps backups. And she'll make sure it happens, but yeah, it doesn't screw up our routes because everything is pushed equally. One of the advantages of doing it for all staff.
There was a final slide, but I think we hit everything on it.
Thanks, Megan.
I think so. Yes, because the classified support staff, the
Yep, the
paras.
collaboration structures.
Yeah,
How we're gonna communicate details.
I think that's a really big deal for the classified staff and the paras to be included. That's huge. Because they sometimes feel
Left out.
like they're not sure what they're.
It's an opportunity
Yes.
to get them feel more engaged with the school building, provide training for this, so they feel more equipped to do their job. There's a lot of unwritten benefits tied into having that time class by staff.
Well, thank you. We appreciate your time coming in front of us, and I'm sure we'll have some more questions that we will submit to Mr. Wilson and have you all answer them. Any more questions for the administrators?
Do you think this is a staff satisfier? As far as recruiting new teachers? Do you think it's a satisfier to upcoming potential staff members?
I think,
I would love it as a teacher.
yeah, our staff have been positive about it and we've talked to them. And like Mr. Wilson said, this gets us financially to that goal of, I think, being able to work with staff in that area as well.
Thank you.
Don't have to decide, and we'll keep working on some communication and keep in contact with you guys. But obviously you needed this time to be able to ask questions and hear from the principals.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Good work.
All right, let's move on to action items. Mr. Jeff and Megan,
Just been practicing though.
Elementary device refresh. You're probably tired.
Okay, came to you last month with our Apple refresh proposal, and we're here seeking approval, but there's two things on here that you haven't seen yet. First one is a bid that we got with Synetic, they're a company we've worked with before. And what we set out to bid was asset tagging and iPad casing. That is a very labor intensive and time intensive job, and we've worked with them in the past to do that for all of our Apple deployments. So their bid here is for 1,380 iPads to be cased, inventoried, and ready to import into our inventory system for $10 if we use a certain case, $11 if we use another case. We talked last week or last month that I wasn't sure which case we were going to end up with yet. And that is still up in the air because of some ordering constraints on Apple's side. So I had them bid them both, making the assumption that we're going to pick the $11 case. So you're looking at about a little under $15,000 for Synetic to take care of all of the asset tagging, boxing them, getting them into our inventory system. So when we get them, we just have to do the base setup. Saves us literally probably a month of time by having them do that for us. So, and all trash and paper cut.
Yes.
Everything else. So that's new. And they're a great company. We worked with them in the past. The other thing that you haven't seen yet is the highest bid for our outgoing equipment. And you can see that that is a much bigger number than I had anticipated. But that is an A grade, which probably isn't going to happen. So they are giving us a minimum guarantee at $319,000, which is a little bit higher than I had thought. But so no matter what the condition of our equipment that goes out, that's going to be the minimum check. It could be somewhere in between that 319 and that 455. We got a couple of bids back, and this was almost $100,000 more than the next closest. So this is a no brainer. We have worked with Diamond Assets in the past, probably 3 times, I think. And very satisfied with it. They're a good company to work with. So that's the new information that I have. Any questions on that part? Passed.
Good.
It works.
So do you have a recommended motion on this? Or just approve as presented? Yeah.
Any questions for Jeff on this?
What was the total again?
Total would be $589,970 broken up into 4 payments.
Okay.
So that would start in July.
So if we got that 319 or 312,
With Diamond Assets, the way this will work is they will cut us a check. Now that generally won't happen until probably late September. So we'll have
but
already
then
made
that goes,
on, yeah,
you
then that's,
put that to this.
yes, that pays directly.
So
towards
it
this.
drops it to
Significant.
200 some.
So you can throw
Wow.
that 319 and then you're almost paid off after
So
you're.
what would you do? Just pay,
Also,
you pay off the last, just
Yeah.
pay off as
Yeah.
much as you can and then.
And primary.
That's kind of Lisa's.
Yeah.
We had talked about that a little bit, and sometimes for budgetary planning, speaking for you, but it's nice to have that dollar amount in there year over year, so we know that it's there.
Yes.
And we don't overlook something and forget that, oh yeah, we had a really cheap year. Where did that money go? Thing. So.
And let's be clear, Jeff will spend that money.
Yeah, he's right.
I move that we purchase the equipment as presented.
It's been motion and second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, raise your hand, say aye. Aye, opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, Jeff,
guys.
again. Mr. Marty, school fees.
Last month, Megan presented to you the school fees, and we would recommend that approval as presented.
Well, I was wrong. You were the one that was practicing that I heard. Weren't you?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
hours.
Uh-huh.
I move that we accept the school fees as presented.
Shelley and Braden are on it.
Mind if I hit discussion just to show you the update?
Yes, discussion.
Discussion.
There we go.
Just want you to notice at the top, we've had full day employees and most of our employees want full day. But you can notice we hit a half day. So also a significant discount for half day for our employees that are choosing to do half day instead of full day. And our community kids. If they are under a special education IEP or an at-risk, they are free regardless.
I need to understand clearer the difference between full day attendance, half day attendance under community tuition pre-K.
So. You wanna hit that, Marty? You want me to? You go right. Great. So, we have, and, Jennifer left, doggone it. Deidre might have to help me. I think we do 3-year-olds in the morning. 4-year-olds in the afternoon, and most of our classrooms are half day. We have 2 classrooms, mostly because of our staff, that are all day programs. So the students come in the morning when the morning kids come, they stay all day, get lunch, and then they leave with the afternoon kids. And so we have 2 classrooms full of full day kids, but the majority, I'm gonna say 80% are half day kids.
But these costs
So-
increase significantly from what's.
Is that
We have had 0
13.
costs for community kids. These are really low for any daycare or anything like that. The problem we were having is we couldn't get the people who really needed it in. Because there's such a waiting list with it free, that people were just like, why not? So putting a little bit of skin in the game is allowing the people that really need it to not have that big of a waiting list.
So is the $13.50 for half day, right? Because it's $120 for full day. Why is it less for full
That's my
day?
question.
Oh, that's wrong. It should be,
Yeah, that's a type.
it should be $22.50
For what?
for full day
Per year.
per year, because it'd be twice the semester.
And then they're busing on top of that.
Alright.
If they want busing, yes.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha. Didn't.
And a reminder, if they're free reduced, free income, that they qualify for free meal, they are at risk and it's free.
Okay. Any more discussion? It's been moved and seconded. Any more discussion?
This be voted on if it's not correct. Just asking.
So,
Can it be voted on if it's not correct?
Yes, that number will be $22.50.
Just ask.
So we would
Yes.
say,
typo.
Yes,
make a motion based on the change, I suppose you maybe
Yes.
need to remake the motion? I don't know.
Sure.
Do you just want me to change
Yeah.
my motion?
Mhm.
I move that we accept the school fees as presented with the full day community tuition for pre-K going to a total of $22.50.
Been moved,
second,
seconded. All in favor, raise your hand and say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign.
All right.
Motion carries. Policy updates. Brad, Mr. Wilson.
These are, as we presented with the change to, and I'm gonna have to find the change. To memberships, BG. That adds that it could be KASB, Kansas Association of School Boards, or any other organization was the change that was requested. And so that change has been made. Every other one is like they were presented last month.
Madam President, I move to approve the sorry,
Policy
updates as presented. Sorry.
Second,
It has been moved and seconded. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Just a second, sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I had three real quick things, Brad, you could
Yes.
probably answer them. On JQI, the one about adult
Yes.
students. Yeah, I don't guess I don't understand that. Do they not do like GED classes or we have?
We do not offer GED classes.
So who is that aimed at? I'm sorry, I don't.
We do have an opportunity for students, adult students to enroll with pretty much virtual academy. They would have slots, but that's for in-district adults. Currently don't have.
Oh,
But they could get a high school diploma, not a GED. From
okay.
that, through our virtual program. They
Okay.
don't come on
Oh,
site.
virtually,
Yes.
okay. So it doesn't say that in, I don't think.
No.
Anyway, I don't know if it needs to. Then IKDA, how are they informed of that? Is that with the, like at the beginning of the year?
Yes.
Enrollment?
Yeah, that's what we talked about being on enrollment.
Okay, and then my third question is IKCA. Up in the top paragraph, I think, maybe the second paragraph, the things in parentheses where they have like superintendent / principal, is it either one of those people? Clerk of the board / principal, or is it one of those? It's the second paragraph, I guess.
Yeah.
That I'm
Yes.
looking
For
at.
the opt-out form.
So should it be one or the other, or is it either or?
Should be principal really for both of those.
So I guess I would say that needs to be
Yes.
changed. On the opt-out form.
I've noticed we have quite a few policies in our official policy book that don't have those selected,
Okay,
but you're supposed to select one of those.
okay. So does that need to be changed or?
Yes.
Okay,
Just change them to principal.
so,
You could just, do we need to change the motion? Just change it, updating the,
you don't need
Changes.
to change it because principal's already there.
but we need to remove.
We'll
Sure.
remove clerk and superintendent
okay. Thank
because
you.
they give those forms at the building level.
Yes, okay, thank you.
Do you want to change your motion, Michelle?
Not my motion.
Oh, it was?
It was
Oh.
Braden.
Oh, Braden's motion. You seconded. Sorry, both of
Yeah.
you have been on a roll tonight. That's
So change it how will I include
just,
with the changes made tonight.
yes.
Madam President, I would like to make a motion to approve the policy updates with the changes we made tonight.
And it's been moved.
Second it.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, raise your hand, say aye.
I,
Aye, opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Where are we now? Executive session. Just personnel and negotiations.
Run through the negotiations first.
All right, I make a motion to go into executive session to discuss negotiations pursuant to employer-employee negotiations under COMA, and the open meeting will resume in the boardroom no later than
5 minutes.
7:40. 40. Are we inviting Brad, Mr. Wilson,
Tanner and.
Tanner, and Marty?
Yep.
All in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Oh, I need a second.
Oh, second.
Donna, second. All in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. The exception relating to personnel matters of non-elected personnel and the open meeting will resume in the boardroom no later than,
I'm gonna say, let's start at 30 minutes.
no, Lord, later than 8:10. I need a second. Second, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
Post same sign, inviting Marty, Tanner, and Mr. Wilson. Our executive session, we will return to the boardroom no later than 8:20. I need a.
Second.
Been moved in second. All in favor, raise your hand, say aye. Aye. Vote same sign.